Hello everyone, this is going to be my first video. We are in a master's program at UT Dallas studying business analytics and artificial intelligence. And so these video series is mainly going to be me going through my process of learning different visualization techniques, coding languages, and just trying to get more comfortable with doing projects and such for my resume, for my experience, etc. So without further ado, for this first video, I'm going to be doing a deep dive. I found this data set on Kaggle. It's called Data Science Salaries 2023. And we're just going to kind of go through this in, we can probably do this in, I'm probably going to do this one in Python in Jupyter Notebook. So let me go ahead and open this up in Jupyter Notebook here. I'll close this real quick. I'll rerun it. I have it open on my other screen, so you won't be able to see it, but now it's going to open perfect. And then I'll go to my projects file here, new project, and this will just be called Data Science Salaries 23 project. All right. So first things first, before we do any of this, I want to go and open a note, probably figure out what exactly I want to do. So let's go ahead and open a note here. I'll just do it on here. So let's go ahead and create a markdown file real quick and say goals for project. And then we'll do this. We'll say number one, let's identify, let's do this. Let's say identify top 10 salaries for each state. Identify the average salary based on experience level, probably something I want to look at. Another goal that I might want to look at is does experience level always mean higher pay? Does having higher degree beat out experience? Or do they go hand in hand? And now let's say let's change this to guiding questions. And now this one will be goals for project. Use Python to clean so we'll say use Python. That'll be one goal. And then the next goal or steps for let's call this steps for projects. Obviously we're gonna use Python. Let's say step one is exploratory data analysis. So see if we have any missing values and clean data. Understand data. I don't imagine this is going to be that hard with this data set, given that it's just a salary data set that was already pre-made. So I doubt there's going to be any errors in it, but we'll go ahead and clean through this and see what it looks like. And then step two will be identify, or well, we'll say visualize guiding questions and give report slash explanation of findings. 3 final thoughts and recommendations. Sure. Okay. So this is just the start. So we'll go ahead and get started. So first, I like to import all my packages that I imagine I'll be using. So pandas for data frame analysis and cleaning and such. NumPy potentially. Definitely Seaborn. And also, I like to do both because I never know which one I want to use. As I'm still learning, I will. And I think that's it for now. So then let's go ahead and load our data. I have already downloaded it. It should be called Data Science. Well, you would need to use pd.read csv, and then you say ds-salaries.csv, I think is what it's called. Nope. Let me go find what it's called. Okay. Okay, I think I ran into this problem last time. I have to upload it here. Is what I came to realize. So I'll do that really quick. And now this should run. Yeah, okay. So now every time I want to, start off, I always want to do df head to see what we're working with. So it looks like there's a couple different columns. So work, year, experience level, employment type, job salary currency, which is interesting. So I'm guessing, so this clearly does not have only US dollars. There's some other employment residence. Yep, so there it is. Large, small. Okay. So then next thing I want to do, I like to do df describe, which shows for all the numeric columns. So like work year, which work year I can probably drop because it's all going to say 2023, I believe. So no, it doesn't, looking at this. So there's 3,500 records in this. 3,755 records. The minimum, so it goes up to from 2020, so COVID to 2023 max. Okay. Salary 138,000, it looks like the median maybe. But you have to remember that these are not in the same currency. So probably what I may look to do with this is just either, I'm really only focused on the US and US salaries and jobs because that's where I want to be working. So I'll probably go ahead and either drop all columns and categories that don't have US dollars as the salary currency, just to make it easier to explore only US jobs. But I'll have to see the frequency. So what I'll plan to do is do like a group by salary currency to see what's the frequency of all the different salary currencies. And if US dollars, which I'd assume is the majority, I'd probably go ahead and keep that. But yeah, I always like to do this. And then also what I like to do is below that is I like to do, I think it's response equals O maybe? No. It's describe, what is it? Include O, that's what it is. So this gets the categorical columns. So like experience level, employment type, job salary, and gives you like the most frequent one here. So Oh, good. So this actually gives us the frequency. So 3,224 out of the 3,755 jobs are U.S. dollar currency, which I assumed was going to be the case. And so that's great. I mean, 3,224 jobs I'll be evaluating. That's good. Job title top is data engineer. That's interesting. I thought this was mainly data science salaries, but I know there's a lot of overlap right now in the job descriptions of a lot of these jobs. So data engineer could possibly be the actual most frequent job, and according to this data set, it is. Employment type FT. I'll have to go back through the Kaggle site and see what FT and all that, what all these different stands for. So, employment type, the type employment for the role. FTCT. So I'm not too sure what exactly. It looks like 99% of the data says FT. 1% says this CT stuff. Full-time, contract, part-time. Okay, so that's what it is. That's obvious. So, yeah, I'm also going to be probably cutting out those just into full-time so I can just get a full look at that. Only full-time work, which again, majority is, so I won't be losing that many columns. Experience level, the top is senior level. There's 4, so I'm sure there's entry, internship, mid-level, senior level, principal maybe. So there may not be internships. It may just be entry level, mid, senior, etc. But I'll look into that as well and do some group buys here to get some more understanding of all of that. Okay, so now let's do some group buys here just to get some. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this right, but again, if I mess up, I'll learn. So let's group by work year. And then do. I'll have to look up the group by. Pandas group by. So it's group by, axis, none, level none, adds index true, sort true, group keys true, observe, drop in a false. Okay, so wait, before I do this, let me see if there's any missing values. I doubt there is, but let's see. So we can do df.is in a, and then I think it'll say that. So yeah, no in a values, right? Because df, or ling df is 3,755. Is in a, I need to get the actual, like, oh, I need to do a dot sum afterwards. So yeah, no NA values here. Let's do head 10 here just so I can see all of them. Okay, so now we know that there's no missing values, so that's great. Now we can just go ahead and hop into doing some group buys, get a little bit more understanding of all of this. So let's do df group by. So you can do pass a dictionary, it looks like they did here. This is just initializing the data frame, and then group by animal, the mean of the animal. So I want to do that, but do group by, let's do salary, currency, and then do group by, what I want to actually group by is the frequency, so I think it's dot sum. No, it's not that. Dot maybe. Dot mode. No, dot frequency. I want to check just like the count. dot count. Isn't that I'm pretty sure. Okay. So, okay. Wow. So there's actually a lot more salary currencies than I was expecting. So you can see there's not a whole lot of like majority is still US dollars. So I will still plan to drop that. So, I mean, use that. Um, and so this is showing every other column too, which is really nice. But what I really want is just so you can compare it by one column. So let's do what would give you a good one here. So salary maybe. No. So let's just keep it as is for now. I'll figure out what I want to do later and figure out better formatting types of this and look at some more examples here. Okay, anyways, so moving on, let's just go ahead and now for my personal project, I really only care about the US jobs because I just want to kind of get a good feel for the US jobs up to 2023. I know it's obviously 2024 now, but I want to get a better representation of just the US jobs. So let's go ahead and drop every other column that is not US. So let's do, how should we do this? I don't necessarily want to drop it. Well, I guess I can. That's all I care about is U.S. jobs. So let's do df dot where, and then do salary currency is equal to U.S. dollars. I think that's the right format. It is not, of course. Dot where. Let's see how this works. So condition, in place, levels none. Okay, so condition. When condition is true, keep the original value. Where false, replace the corresponding value from other. If condition is callable. Okay. So, I mean, I thought that was fairly right, but maybe not. Where S equals, so pretty much the same thing. Where salary currency equals US dollars. And then in place equals true. Okay, what is my error here? Array additional conditional must be same shape as self. But I just want it to where, so I was gonna try not use this for this, but I know it's a helpful tool, so let's just ask it. Wanting to drop columns in data frame where column currency for the sake of this equals USD. So I just realized that I said I wanted to drop where these columns are true, so I'll just have to. Okay, so this is what he did. He did a df locate all rows and then locate where the currency is not equal to US dot any. So I will just copy that and then but without that, so I just need that. But I want to look up the df.locate because I see people use that a lot, but I don't know so access a group of rows or columns by labels. So this is probably better than the .where clause that I was trying to use. I've also seen the locate one here. So let's see how this is used. Locate Viper. So Viper should be here at index 4, I think is how this is labeled. 4 and 5, yeah. Okay, so this should work. So they use the locate to get, I'm assuming, everything, but then another locate here to just get where currency is equal to US dollars. And any means any values, I believe, right? So I'll look that up too. Return whether any element is true. Okay. So anywhere, any value in this currency column that is equal to this, it's going to return into here. And then it's going to locate that. Okay, so I think that'll work. Let's just check. Cannot assign subscript here, so let's just take that out and see. And then obviously double equals is needed, and now there's still errors. False Boolean label cannot be used without a Boolean index. Maybe throw that back in. Oh, because I have to have the actual salary currency. There we go. So now df filtered. Okay, so I still see a bunch of these. So that might not have worked the way I wanted it to. Let's see. I want to drop every currency that is not USD in the data frame. Oh, well, this is a lot easier. I mean, how did I not think of that first? That's like the easiest way. Okay, so let's just redo this here. df equals df salary currency equal to USD. And now do head or df dot head. Okay. Wow, that was like, this is literally the indexing notation I wanted to do, but I'm so new to Python. I didn't think you could just do it. I was thinking of R notation, and this is similar to R. Wow. Okay, I feel stupid for that. But hey, we're learning. So now I know if I just want to drop that, you can index it similar to R and such. So okay, great. So now just to check, let's redo this group by statement here, down here, and see. So now, yep, perfect. So now it just has, and then also the length here should equal 3224. Perfect. Okay, great. Well, I'll just keep that, I guess. Perfect. Okay. So now we have this. Let's go ahead and we need to still check because we're not for sure. Like some of these company locations are Canada. You know. So let's do another group by statement here, where we group by company location. Okay. So there's a lot of them. And this is probably California, not Canada. That's stupid. Why would I assume that? Otherwise, the currency would be Canadian dollars. Okay, so great. So this is actually an interesting visual here, because there's so many California jobs, and just general US, I guess, is the rest here. Or like unspecified, like remote, maybe this is like remote work, primarily. um, no, this is Canada. I think they're just paying in US currency, I guess, because this is like state symbols and stuff. I don't know, let me go back to this and see what it shows. um, the country of the employer's main office or contracting branch. Okay. So yeah, so it's the countries. These are all countries. So again, we want to specify down to US again. So df equals. So since I've already done this, this is now the current df. So all I have to do, I should, is just do computation equal to US. And now df head, and I get that. So USD US residence, or location, I'm sorry. And then do lin df 3032, which is what we should have, right? Because of that. Okay, so now I believe we've filtered out all the unwanted data from my own exploration. If you want to download this data set, you feel free, and explore whatever else you want. But for me, I'm only interested in the US jobs, so that's what I'm going to do and focus on. Okay, so now we need to check, let's see, work year, experience level, employment type, job title. So this is where I feel like you may have a lot of different job titles. So let's go ahead and do a group by for job title, because I also don't know, I don't know who created this, and I don't know if there's like typos in the job titles that we need to fix, or anything like that. So let's just go ahead and see this one real quick. Whoops, it needs I'll just do count, I think. Okay, AI developer, AI. So there's 10, wait. So these are all the job titles that are listed in there. Let's do .sum actually, because I think it'll just sum. No. See, I'm trying to do pandas group by documentation. I don't want, all these other column counts, like year, experience level, employment type, salary. I just want the count of job title. Let's do that. What does that do? Doesn't work. Okay, because there's not any parentheses. It still doesn't work. So let's just leave it as .count for now, for the purposes of this first evaluation. And it looks like analytics engineer is the primary work title. I don't see any data. I guess there's two product data analyst, staff data scientist, AI developer, AI scientist, analytics engineer. There's 70 rows, so there's more. So okay, anyways, we'll come back to this later. So there's clearly a lot of them, and they all look in like a specific order where they're capital, 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 capital. So they all look like they're all listed properly. So even though that's right, I don't want to necessarily take my chances. So we should dive deeper into this. So we can do, let's do df job title equals df then just look at EF job title. So so there are a ton of different ones. So there's 3,032 different job titles in this list. Jeez. Okay. Obviously, because that's the length of the data set. And all of them, like I said, look like they're spelled right. So let's just assume for now that they're all spelled right, just to save myself a headache. And we'll go ahead and just jump into what we want. So I think we have a pretty solid understanding of the data. So there's 32 rows of different job listings in the US because we filtered that down, right? They're listed out by work year, experience level, employment type, job title, salary currency, which is only going to be USDs, salary in USD, which is the same. So we can probably drop that column. Employee residence, remote ratio, and company size. So real quick, I want to actually do describe here. I want to see, no, I'm not too interested in that. I want include equals O. I just want to, whoops, it's a capital O, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I really just want to look at these columns here. Okay. And then this is all of these. So salary in USD, salary, remote ratio. So remote ratio is interesting because it's like a ratio of like work. So that's kind of difficult because it's either 100% remote, which is the max. Mean is around 40-50%. So I'd assume like a hybrid option. Which is probably a fair guess because I know a lot of companies nowadays are doing hybrid options. And the min value is 0, which is all in person, obviously. So the standard deviation is 49, mean is 44. So it seems like there's only really 3 or so values that are, there's some that are 50, 52. It seems like just because the mean is not right at 50. But also interesting enough is that it's skewed because the 25th and the 50th is 0%. So it's really skewed by these 100%. So I think the first thing we should do is look at the box plot of all of these. So let's just dive into our evaluation here, and then if we have anything else that we don't understand or anything, we'll get into it. So for now, we're just going to keep doing some exploratory data analysis here, just to get a good box plot of, we'll just do box plot. So and I want remote ratio for right now. And then, nope, I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Let me do PLT show. Hold on, I have to look this up. So I'm still learning. So matplotlib box plot. So I'm glad I'm doing this because this is, so X. What if I just leave it as DF and just, it'll put all the columns on here, I think. Nope. So I'll do this then. Oops. So I just changed it from a mark to a markdown to do that. Okay, so interesting. So that really isn't that helpful because it's just a literal box. I mean, so clearly that means that there's only set values. So it's really not, there's no in between like 60%, 40%, 50%. because the median's 0. Either that there's so many zeros that there's all these outliers, but that's not the case. I mean, that's just so remote ratio doesn't help us too much. So what we could do if we wanted to is create a column where we take this ratio and apply it as like a set, like make it, instead of being like a continuous or whatever, make it more discrete. So like 0% gets 0, 100% gets 1, and then, I mean, that's the same thing this is. So let's just leave this. So let's go ahead and look at some other things. Let's look at salary column. So interesting. So you can see that the median, it's slightly left skewed, right? Because the 25th is closer to the median just by a little bit, and a bunch of outliers up here. So there's a couple, I'm assuming these are going to be more like AI, principal data science engineers, AI scientists, stuff like that, making these salaries up here at really big tech companies. But the median looks like it's about 150. And also these could be California or something. So that's nice to see. Let's keep that the same, and then let's add some labels. PLT dot title, I think is what it is. Box plot salary. No, it's not title. Let's see. There's so many. Sorry, guys. Where is it? I think I just passed it. X core. Oh my gosh, come on. Axes, figure, fig, lab. Come on. Okay, let's check again. I'm pretty sure it's X label. How to add title and axes labels using Matplot. Title, X label, and Y label. Okay, so that's the same thing I was just looking at. So plt.title, is that not what I just put? That is what I put. Oh, I didn't spell title right. Look at that. plt.xlabel is, well, you don't really need an X label, isn't it already labeled? No, it's not. So let's actually label that as frequency of salary, and then plt y label as salary in USD. Sure, something like that. Okay, not bad for our first visual. Okay, so we can already see there's some outliers in the salary data, which we should expect because there's tons of salaries everywhere, right? So that's okay. So now let's get on to, let's look at a scatter plot of salary versus work experience. See if that matters. So plt dot scatter so df, so what should be our x-axis? Probably work experience, and And then Y should be salary, probably. Whoops. What happened here? Oh, it's probably an underscore. Maybe it's not. Oh, experience level work year. So let's do experience level. So let's flip these actually, so it'll probably look a little bit cleaner. So maybe scatter's not the best representation of this. Let's do, what could I do? Histogram maybe? No, that won't be good. Yeah, that might be good actually. But you only use one variable, so let's do that. Well, that lets you see the experience level. So senior, like we've proven earlier, is the most occurring that, but so not that. So let's go back to what I had. Positional argument follows keyword. I mean, that doesn't look that bad, but it's, maybe I could do like a jitter scatter. I don't know if that works in Python, but I could look it up. What other, I mean, this isn't like that bad of a representation because you can see like clearly the mid-level salaries are down here. Entry level is even lower, right? I mean, so you get a really good representation still of like where the salaries are. Even there's some mid-levels getting this much. I don't know, you know, who knows like where, is there any other employment type, job title, salary, salary currency, salary, US, remote, ratio, company size. So you'd sort it first and then plot a bar graph. Okay, so that makes sense. Let's just copy this code here and we'll see what this shows here. And then we'll kind of break it down. You know, using AI is great, but you always have to be careful when you look at what it gives you, because you need to really understand the syntax of the code that you're looking at in order to know that it's going to give you the right output. And you don't just want to, like, for this it might be okay because you're adding a new variable, which is a sorted data frame. But let's say this wanted to replace anything in your data frame, you have to be very careful not to just send it in, run it without knowing, like being 100% sure like it's not going to mess up your data frame or structure. So we're going to sort the values by salary, ascending equals false, and then get the head of that. So it's going to give you the top 10. Well, I guess you should do 11 then, huh? Or no, because it'll index at 0, right? So it'll be 0. Yeah, so say 10 is fine. And then they plot the figure size, and then they did a bar H, horizontal bar, of top salaries name. See, so we don't need this. We don't have a name. We can do, what we could do though is job title, salary. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. and then we'll do job title, salary. Well, shoot, there we go. Now some customization options I'd want to do is, I wonder if there's a way, I'm sure there is, to add, I want to add labels so it can like put the actual salary on the bar somewhere, on the graph somewhere. So let's ask ChatGPT how to add label to add exact salary label to the bar screen. Use a text method, okay. And then you have to wait for it to print all this out again. And so it ran it through a for loop. I guess you might need to do that for bar and bars. PLT text, bar get width, bar dot get y, bar get height divided by 2. Sure. Okay, well, we're gonna try this and see. It looks like it'll be, the same. Take that out and see, yeah, error. So bars not defined for bar and bars. So it must have defined bars somewhere previously, and I just didn't see it. Oh, there it is. So they just called this bars. Oh, great. It doesn't quite stay on there, so you could increase the figure size probably. I wonder if I could do, what I should do here is do like a dollar sign so that it looks like that. There we go. That looks nice. Maybe. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and change this to like an 8 to fit everything in there. No, that looks smaller. So that's height. So let's do 12 by 8 maybe. Let's do 16 by 8. There we go. That's fitting it in there. By 6. Let's make it a little smaller. That's small. Let's make it bigger. Let's do 20. Then text font size, let's make it 14. Well, it still kind of hangs off. I don't know. So yeah, I do like that change. What if I took that out and it would just put it at the bottom? So you do want that. And then okay, I do like this. So as you can see, there's a tie here. So what if we want like the unique highest salaries? So that's the issue, is that it still may be this. So let's actually decrease this back to 12 by, or do 10 by 8 like it had originally, because everything's kind of zoomed out now. And I don't really like that. So 10 by 8, that's much more readable. Sure, the salaries kind of hang off, but it is what it is, right? That's still very readable, right? Instead of looking at it like this. The other thing you can do is change the scale to go by 10,000s or 5,000 or whatever. I mean, it already goes by 100,000, so you could change the scale to go like 50, 150, 250, 350, 450, which is this. So I mean, you could also just use your knowledge of graphs to see that too. But anyways, that looks really great. And then very basic chart, but it gets the job done, right? It's easy to read. You can see clearly the title of what is paying the most. But now what we should do is by location, if we can do that. So I mean, obviously these are probably all in California, I would assume, right? Employee residence. So let's change it. Let's do. So I want to keep this one though. Still, I want to still keep this one. So let's go ahead and just copy this code, and then below we'll paste another one. What we could do is look at the bottom 10. Let's do that while we're here. All you do is switch that. I think that'll, yeah. Whoa, except we have some value errors here. Oh, it's because of this. So I need to change that to bars 2, and then change bars 2, bars 2. Whoops, what happened? Our container for bar and bars 2. Oh, so this should stay bar because it's still the same. We're just changing where we're getting it from. Nope, what happened? Is there still something wrong? So just Control Z everything. Okay, true to that. And then bars 1. Let's make it easy. But what is this? Why do we have this error here? 3000. My guess is that the job title was the same for a lot of these, which is why it shows this stuff. So anyways, let's just do the head, the 5 or 4, right? So AI scientist at the bottom, still 12,000. So these must be part-time. So I want to filter out two. So before we do this, let's filter out bottom salary, and then okay. So this should still run. Okay. So before we do this, I want to filter out anything that's not equal to df where what is it? Employment type is not equal to full-time, right? Because that's what we want. We want full-time employment. So that should, whoops, df full. Let's call it df full. And then, well, we did it with, so, okay, sorry. So we did this. df sorted values by salary, ascending true. So we should just do this again. Right, because I filtered out all the US data here. So this should work. Well, I guess you can just do the same way and just do that. But why is it not working? Contract full-time employment type. Did I spell it wrong? That might be why. EMPLOYMENT type. Nope, it's spelled right. So maybe the error is not there. Let's see. So it is. That's where the error is occurring. It just says key error false. Let's see. I think I can just do that. I think that's why. No, it's still false. Oh my gosh. Let me just copy what I did with US and just change it. Where did I do that? Right here. Oh, okay, so I see what I did. So in previous, I included it all in this, which it's not going to find a column named that, but I had to separate it like this. There we go. Whoops, and this needs to be full-time. So now there's another issue because Because why? So this should be working. I'm not sure why. Because all I did was reassociate df. So I want to just... I don't know if there's a way to multi-line comment things out, but I'm going to do this for now, just because I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to comment multiple things out, so I just want to... Okay, so this deleted all of df. See, this is exactly the issue I didn't want to run into. But there's kind of an easy fix, so all you need to do is just rerun all this, unfortunately. So run that, make sure that's there. All of that should be the same, just keep going. Okay, so without doing that, there's got to be a different way I can sort this. That doesn't require me to, what's it called? Okay, so now I just need to sort. Can I add a where condition to this sort? So sort salary by where employment type equals full-time. And good. Corrected my poor spelling. So let's see how he did this. So he did... Okay, so really interesting thing here that I didn't think of is that he did this. So he first, similar to what I was doing to try and set the data frame equal to this, is he indexed the data frame where the employment type equals this, so it gets all values where the employment type equals that, and then sorted them by salary, and then do .head just like he did, and it works. No. And again, we have this issue with the font here. So I think it's because I have that too many and there's ties or something. I don't know. Let's just get rid of this for now. I don't want it. And then we'll just see that 10 here. Okay. So 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. So I find it hard to believe that there's 25 data engineers are making 25,000 at a full-time job in the US. But, maybe. I guess what I could do is look at bottom salaries, right? Just see what shows up, right? I would need to comment all this out. So let's just open a new cell real quick and bottom. So it is full-time analyst in CR. So again, not in the US. So so that makes sense then, because the cost of living there is probably nothing. But look at this, $24,000 full-time data engineer in the US. Mid, and this is entry level. Full in-person, medium-sized company in the US. Interesting. I wonder if that's just like a mislabeled salary, or maybe that's accurate. Who knows? But that's a pretty interesting finding. Same with these here. I mean, obviously now the data has changed, so this has probably gone up. But that's just an interesting takeaway. So anyways, we can look at, so we can change these to bottom salaries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, okay, so I think there's an issue here in this full-time column. So I think we should just leave it alone and go back to this one here. And don't, so just do the df sort values here. Get rid of this stuff, because I think there's just some issue with the full-time. And then just to make sure, let me look up all of this, and then do lang df. So there are 3, 32. So it looks like that. So the sort method, no, but why is it skipping here? 1, 2, 5, 6, 9. So I guess in between these originally were the sorting. So up here I could do in place equals true. I think no, so that doesn't work. So how do I get this? Either way, anyways, we know that there's nothing wrong with our data set here. So when we sort it, it does actually produce this, but I don't know why it won't show the 10 job titles here, similar to this one here. Maybe it's because all 10 have this same title, possibly, which would make sense for why the salaries seem to overlap, because it was trying to print multiple on the same. Excuse me, at the same point. All right. So let's go back up to the top here. So guiding questions, top 10 in each state. So we don't necessarily have that, but we could say, let's say in US, because looking at our data set now, we don't have states. Identify average salary based on experience level. So I can go actually look at that. So we can do df salary dot sorted values. So first do a dot mean, and then do a dot sorted values on experience level. Oh, so maybe I should do this at the end, actually. Series object has no attributes, sorted values. But that's literally what we did. Oh, no, we didn't. But previously we did. This is the same thing, no? df implemented equals full-time dot sort of values. Okay, so now I'll just ask ChatGPT. Group. Oh, we can do a group by for this. So we can do df group by. No. Go back up to my group by statements. And then group by salary mean. Sorry, do this first. Do by employee type, and then do dot mean. I think this should work. No. Could not convert to numeric. Oh, because I'm so I should actually do it the other way. There we go. Okay, so looking at this, contract actually offers a lot more money than full-time. No, it doesn't. I lied. So FL, what is FL? Part-time, contract, full-time, full float? Freelance. That's probably what freelance. Okay. Freelance. Okay, so pretty interesting checks here. So then we could actually save this as employee salary, sure, as that, and then do plt dot bar of employee salary, just to make it look more visually appealing. Nope. Oh, height. Height equals I don't know, 100. So now, if we want to, I'll just ask ChatGPT to debug this. You can probably. So group by employment type to calculate mean salary, plot average salary using a bar chart. Okay, so anyways, it's gonna put in its own data. Employee salary, group by employment salary dot mean. So I think one thing that I always forget to do or don't do, which I see ChatGPT do a lot, is determine a figure size. And then they did a bar plot, which obviously makes sense. So I should do that. So I did do a bar plot. I just didn't. I did employee salary dot index. Okay. Got it. Well, anyways, let's do that. Ah, look at that. Wow. Okay, so good to know. So you can do this dot index to take the indexes as an axis value and then do the actual values, which would be the mean salaries. And so look at that. That's actually pretty cool. Is there an ordered equals true? I think. No. Bar. Align equals center, bottom equals none. So is there a way to, let's just ask ChatGPT, he'll know the answer. Is there a way to sort the bar and height order? I mean, we did it with the salaries, but that was also the way we did that. So sort. So it just sorts it first. So you sort the employee. Okay. So I'm gonna do this without ChatGPT and see. So then do employee sal sorted equals that dot sorted values by. You're then gonna sort by equals salary. Ascending equals true, I think. I mean, it's literally the same thing that I put above if I wanted to book. Sorted values by salary, ascending equals true, dot head. Okay, but I don't need the dot head because I already there's only 4. Oop, that didn't work. Series has no so it's because this is a series. How did he do it? Employee salary equals df group by employee salary sorted. Oh, sort values. Okay. See, I'm learning so much. So you just do sort values. Kind of. Didn't really sort them, but I think it sorted them in alphabetical order. Yeah. So sort. I don't want to sort values. I want sort almost like keys, but I don't. Yeah, it is. It would be keys, wouldn't it? Sort items because it's a series. It's a value item. But sort by salary increasing. Come on, hurry up. Oh, you can just put a wait. By ascending equals true, but I think it's just sorting. Maybe let's try it. Ascending equals true. Whoops, what did I do? See, but that's just sorting. I think. So do the dot reset index to reset the index. What does it say? Sort the mean salaries in ascending order and resets the index, which converts the employment type back to a column and ensures proper sorting value by salary values. Okay, let's try it. So it works, but it doesn't look like it. The bar graph is ordered. Oh, because now you have to change this to that. Since now it's in 2 separate columns and you can't do index. Salary. There it is. Okay, so let's just recap this and then I'll go ahead and end this video and I'll make a part 2 some other day probably, but so let's just recap everything that we did real quick. So number 1, importing the data, did some exploratory EDA on it. So read in the data, got the head of the data to see all the columns and everything, describe the data, so look at count, mean, standard deviation, minimal value, quartiles, max value. Also looked at the categorical value with this include equals O function, got some more descriptive stuff there. Checked for NA values by using the is an A first, and then saw that there was a big error in that because it just showed true false because it is an A is going to return a Boolean value at every index. So the dot sum gets per column all the sum of missing values, which luckily there wasn't any. And then I did a couple group bys here. So group by salary currency first, which showed me that there were a lot of different salary currencies and I wanted to just focus on US. So then I sorted it into USD jobs here and then checked it to make sure that worked, and it did. And then did another one Another additional check, basically just redoing that salary currency after I sorted it to confirm that it worked, and it did. Also check the length with the yet another additional check. And then here we wanted to check company location, and I found out that this was countries by looking back at the Kaggle site here, and wanted only US, and so I did that. And then checked it again, checked the head, and checked the description. So now the count should all be that, which it was. And then made a box plot of salary here to see how that overlaid. I really just want to do DF in general, but I don't think that's possible unless you specify every column. Or maybe you could do indexing notation. Yeah, I don't know. Whoops. Should really read the errors. But anyways, we'll leave that for now and explore more on part 2 and how to make more columns across the different columns. Okay, and then we looked at the experience levels and salary distribution here, and just kind of look at that. Another thing I may come back in part 2 and look at is should I sort these into like make it look more visual? So like, I guess maybe this one is first, then that, or that, something like that. Next, I looked at creating some bar charts to finally answer our guiding questions at the top here. Top 10 salaries, top 10, and bottom 10 salaries in the US. And so we did that. Top 10 here. Another thing I may come back to in the next part is I want to change the colors of all the bars to make it look more visually appealing. Also make some bold, maybe mess with the font color, just kind of play around with some things here in the next part to see if I can make it more visually and aesthetically pleasing to look at. Bottom 10, this one didn't show 10, but I think again it's because the job title is the same for a couple of the bottom 10 would be my guess. I could always look at the bottom 10 head and see like if I just left that alone. Anyways, I'll play around with that too in the part 2, but it's getting late here, so I'm gonna get off and wrap this up. And then finally I looked at the sorted employee salary mean after this group by. So this is first you group by it, getting the mean of employment type salaries, and then what I did was sort values and reset the index, which essentially made it like a table then. So the rows were index 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then the salary was another column. So it pushed the employment type and salary both as columns. That reset index did, and then I sorted it ascending based on salary, and then did a bar chart of it here. So pretty good stopping place. Let's go ahead and save this, and then I will pick this back up in a part 2 later. Thanks so much for watching. If y'all did, leave some comments down below for some tips or pointers, or if anything that you notice you think I could improve on in the next part. This will be a continual series as I learn. I will be doing different languages, different programs. So I'll do one in R probably, one in just an Excel project, a SQL project, a Power BI and Tableau project as well, and anything else I can think of I'll kind of look into. But definitely going to be looking also for some more Python and like machine learning projects in the future. I actually have a class right now where I'm working on a machine learning algorithm, so I may actually record myself working on that a little bit, but we'll see what turns out there. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next part.